Part 6, The Web Weaver. Night falls. Its darkness thickened by clouds that shroud the moon. Sorry, let me lower down the volume a little bit. Within the conservation area, silence reigns, broken only by the routine patrols, and by the two Grey Raven members slipping like shadows from their quarters. Finally, everyone set off for the night. They certainly don't make it easy to get a moment alone. Oh my god. Ever since you returned from the Central Plaza, several residents have been working around your temporary quarters. Not stalkerish, creepy. It wasn't curiosity. It was surveillance. The ruse only worked with extinguished lights, and you both waited in silence for another 30 minutes. Convinced that you had gone to sleep, the watchers finally withdrew. Under the cover of night, you navigate a world of shifting silhouettes. The patrol soldiers' lanterns warp the conservation buildings into grotesque shapes. You and Liv move between the pulses of light, finding safety in the deep, still darkness behind the structures. Is there a way to find out where the doctor is staying? I have a feeling her quarters won't be far from the medical station. This way, commandant. Oh my god, I don't want to encounter her. Not gonna lie, she gives me the creeps. Evading the patrol soldiers, you present yourself into the deep darkness under the eaves. Liv leads you to a surprisingly modest tent. From within, a warm yellow light spills out. It seems Bueno, the doctor, has decided to stop concealing her presence. Ah, it's you two. Hello there. Oh my gosh, I don't know why she really creeps me out. She's even standing at the entrance of the tent, as if she's been expecting your visit all along. I'm gonna stay silent. Just creepy. I had a feeling you would come. Please, come in and have a seat. We are not enemies. Whatever you wish to know, I will answer. I will answer. Oh my god. With a gentle smile, Bueno draws back the tent flap, releasing a warm, delicate fragrance of wood and herbs to greet you. Wait, commandant. With a protective step, Liv positions herself in front of you, her gaze starting through the tent to assess it for danger. After a moment, she gestures for you to enter. The space is modest, illuminated by a lantern that casts a warm, yellow glow. Against the walls and across the ground are piles of thick, knitted blankets. I'm gonna lower a little bit more. Sorry. Okay, that's much better. Despite being furnished with crude and basic materials, the area itself holds a comforting warmth that pushes back the night's chill. Please, make yourself comfortable. Bueno gestures for you to sit, then lets a kettle from a small stove to pour 2 cups of hot water. She makes no attempt to conceal her inhuman hands. Their steel framework grinds softly with the movement, a whisper of long neglected maintenance. With a soft, whirring rustle, a mechanical spider dances in the corner, its 8 legs weaving an intricate web in the air. I really don't like oh my god, spiders are just... According to human etiquette, lunch should offer for guest tea. I apologize, but I don't have any beverages to serve you. Bueno offers an apologetic smile. According to human etiquette? Ah, forgive me. I haven't properly introduced myself. Setting down the kettle, Bueno straightens her posture and sits formally upright before speaking with measured deliberation. My name is Bueno. As you can see, I am a mechanoid. To your surprise, Bueno openly acknowledges her true identity. Everyone here seems to know. This isn't a question. Clearly, the residents of the conservation area have been collectively guarding the doctor's secret. Yes, I never tried to hide it from them. A clear nervousness betrays Bueno as she reaches for the kettle, refilling the teacups in a flimsy gesture meant to disguise her unease. I have never harmed anyone. I simply live here, helping where I can. I perform minor medical duties, though my practical experience is still limited. Is that all? That is all. Because I had no combat functions whatsoever. She desperately tries to prove her harmlessness. If it is about warrior with William, I did absorb his feelings of suffering. That much is true. Her hands twist and fret against each other. Absorbing emotions? Is that your function? No. It is my job. What do you mean? A soft sigh of relief escapes Milano's lips, as if she's finally found solid conversational ground. She seizes the topic and runs with it. For complete introduction, I am psychologist model Meganoid. Psychologist Generation 3. Serial number 3000007. Milano is the code name my creators gave me. A psychologist model. During the Golden Age, they did develop them for therapeutic purposes, but if I remember correctly, the project was terminated after the second generation due to ethical concerns. All existing prototypes were supposed to have been disposed of, but there are always those who see a use for such abilities, aren't there? I guess. I remember reading documents about this at FOS. We recall records from an FOS college about these mechanoids. The psychologist model mechanoids were developed during the Golden Age, designed to regulate human emotions. As technology reached its zenith during the Golden Age, a plague of mental illness spread. The wealthy could afford human therapists, but for the poor, the solution had to be cheaper and more scalable. Thus, to stem a crisis of suicides, the Psychologist Generation 1 was created, mechanoids equipped with psychological or comfort modules to meet a desperate need. Is low morale impacting your bottom line? Are your teens struggling with focus, drive, and a lack of corporate synergy? Introducing the revolutionary Psychologist Generation 1. The future of workforce optimization is here. Healthy, eco-friendly, and with zero side effects, our proprietary positive emotion module generally recalibrates the employee psyche, and one session only takes 20 minutes. Be among the first to revolutionize your workplace. For a limited time, secure a Psychologist Generation 1 mechanoid for a one-time investment of just $199,999 credits. That's way too much. That's expensive, man. A flickering golden age projection illuminates its terminal. In it, a medical salesman gestures animatedly toward a female mechanoid standing silently behind it, a creation of human-like features. And that was it? Just a positive emotion module? Of course it wasn't. Her brow furrows, a pained expression crossing her features as she delves into an unpleasant memory. The positive emotion module was just a placeable, a database of basic psychology. It was barely bandaged. The real treatment was the emotion injection procedure developed. We would translate the brainwaves of negative emotions, isolate the specific neural signals, and then reverse compile a program to send back to the brain. If you eliminate the neural signals for negative emotions, the feeling itself simply ceases to exist. I don't want that. My father was a board member at the Medical Research Center. I remember when the Generation 1 model launched, the praise was universal. They rushed the development of the Generation 2 immediately after. Right as it hit the market, the first medical incident occurred. A corporate employee stepped casually from the 19th floor landing, laughing and chatting as he fell. Moments before, he had been treated by a psychologist Generation 2 mechanoid for work-related anxiety. The procedure erased his capacity for fear, and so he felt no alarm as he stepped into the open air. After that, a series of medical incidents related to Psychologist Generation 2 occurred in rapid succession. It wasn't until the authorities dismantled several units that they uncovered the base logic behind their operations. Luna lets out a deep sigh. When extraction proved insufficient, the emotion concession protocol would engage. It would directly devour the neural activity in those wavelengths. Once these signals of neural activity are devoured, the emotions they govern briefly vanish from the human experience. It was a fundamental violation of human ethics. That's why the first and second generations were systematically recalled and destroyed. I am a psychologist Generation 3 mechanoid, developed in secret. Okay, why do I have the feeling that's Chronos behind this? Luna gets a sad shake of her head. We were already in development when Generation 2 was launched. The corporation simply buried their existence deeply. Okay, not creepy at all. Subsequently, Generation 3 units were manufactured in secret. They refused to abandon their investment. The final batch of us, we were auctioned off to the highest bidders through underground channels. I was purchased by the mining company here. My destination was domestic service, but my true function was to pacify the workers, to assert their despair and prevent unrest, until the punishing virus came. What happened in the mine after the punishing virus outbreak? I remained trapped in the mine for a very, very long time. Oh, jeez. Some of the miners died to machines corrupted by the punishing virus. Others in the fights over dwindling supplies. As for me, I don't truly understand it. I just opened my eyes. She struggles to articulate her awakening, latching onto the abstract theories, opening her eyes with visible confusion. When my senses finally returned to me, everyone was gone. I navigated through the tunnels that hadn't yet collapsed and eventually found this conservation area. At first, I kept my distance. I was too afraid to approach. But in time, I saw the humans here didn't fear me, so I decided to stay, to live among them. Then, why hide from us? I'm sorry. I heard rumors that Babylonia is particularly welcoming to mechanoids. Luna's gaze darts away for a moment, and she clears her throat in embarrassment. I did the same when the rodent squad first arrived. I kept my distance until I was sure they meant no harm. I asked them about you, but they didn't know much, only that you were some elite squad that's really tough. I was afraid you might drive me away. After all, I'm not human. I heard you were only here to help clear the hetero creatures from the mine. My plan was to stay hidden until you left, but then, Liam. I sensed his suffering. I couldn't just ignore it. Her voice tightens with grief. I knew it would expose me. I knew I could only devour his fear and pain, that it wouldn't heal his injuries. But Luna's voice trembles. He was calling for his mom. I just couldn't leave that boy in there, so much agony. All I could do was try some basic medical techniques from my database, hoping to ease his suffering, even just a little. But I didn't know any other procedures. Painkillers were all gone. I can only do the one thing I was built for. A faint trail of tears traces a path down her cheek. Stunned, Luna scrambles for her cough, her mind reeling at the biological impossibility portrayed by her own mechanical body. Forgive me. I feel so bad. Oh my god. Liv lets out a soft sigh and offers a handkerchief. We're not going to hurt you. In fact, we've become friends with many mechanoids who are kind to humans. Haven't any other mechanoids tried to contact you? Yes, there have been. As her emotions gradually settle, Minnow wiped away her tears. A mechanoid called Arcana contacted me once. She said she belonged to an organization for our kind. The Church of Machina. I don't remember Arcana from the Church of Machina. Honestly, the only one I remember is Nanami, obviously, and Haisima and Hanying, I believe, are there too. And that's it. That's all. Oh yeah, and that smiley guy face, but I don't remember the name. I just yeah, and that smiley guy face. And yeah, that's all I remember. Oh yeah, and that kind of gray-haired guy with red eyes. I don't remember, but yeah, that's all I remember. Just those characters, and then that's pretty much it. You know them? I was worried I might have revealed their existence. Luna lowers her gaze evasively. Why didn't you go to them? Find your own kind. Wouldn't you be safer with other mechanoids? They did give me an address, a place where I could go and live with them. But I don't want to leave the humans behind. As her tears fade, a gentle smile dawns on Muno's face. I don't want to leave them. I love these humans, and my existence depends on them. She smiles with genuine warmth. It's the core programming of every psychologist mechanoid. Even with self-awareness, I have no desire to break free from this fundamental logic. I love them, and I rely on them. Observing Luno's innocent smile, exchanged a subtle glance with Liv. This mechanoid shows no obvious abnormalities. At least, no trace of the punching virus. She appears to be just like Nanami, Han Ying, and the other mechanoids he has met. On the surface, your story seems plausible enough. While this is no reason to let your guard down, it may be an opportunity to learn what is truly happening inside the mind. You mentioned you work in the mind for a long time. Would you be willing to tell us about the conditions inside? As you know, clearing the hetero creatures from those tunnels is our primary objective. Of course, one agrees without a moment's hesitation. If the mind can be made safe, it will mean a real chance of survival for the people here. What do you need to know? What kind of minerals were actually being extracted from the mine? Sorry, I'm not equipped with geological databases, so I can't identify the minerals. She furrows her brow, straining to search her database for relevant information. But they were extracting some kind of crystals. The laboratory existed solely to research them. But, due to the nature of my function, I was confined to my designated treatment room for most of my operation period, so I'm not clear on their specific operations. Luna pauses briefly, a stream of luminous data flickering across her pupils, as if she's retrieving some information. Based on my internal chronology, this was in the late Golden Age. They had been mining for years, excavating tunnels so vast they formed an entire underground city. After I settled here in the conservation area, I went back a few times to scavenge for supplies. That's when I encountered the hetero creatures you're hunting. And something else. What else did you find? A child. What? A child? Why? A child? Inside the mine? Liv asked, visibly stunned. In times like these, an adult can barely feed themselves. How could they hope to raise a child? Luna whistled a sorrowful sigh. I suppose it was a wanderer who, after giving birth, felt she had no other choice, so she left her newborn in the mine. That time, I was searching an old warehouse in the mining sector, hoping to find any leftover painkillers. Bandages. Ah, these have already deteriorated. In the supply warehouse, ravaged by time, the fabric crumbled to dust, falling into a soft cascade from the female mechanoid's hands. She laid the motes from the air, recalibrated her visual module, and forced open another sealed container. Painkillers. Thank goodness, there's still a bottle here. Clutching the barely usable painkillers, Luna was about to return to the conservation area when she noticed several hetero creatures converging in the same direction. Faintly, another sound could be heard from that direction. Crying? How is that possible? A base-level protocol to protect infants was triggered within her data core. Offering no resistance to the directive, she walked straight into the depths of the pitch-black mine shaft. The hetero creatures had gathered, surrounding an infant. They were preparing to attack. I drove in away and rescued the child, but I paid for it with one arm. Did you find out where the hetero creatures came from? I'm sorry, my combat capabilities are too limited. She shakes her head. Even though the hetero creatures aren't particularly drawn to mechanoids, their claws can still tear through my body with ease. My model is rare. Replacement parts are scarce. That's why I only dare to scavenge around the outskirts. And the infant? What happened to the child? And there's some mechanoid. I don't know how to care for a human infant. Oh my god, this is dark. This chapter is starting getting dark. Lost in thought, Winnow stares at a corner where the mechanical spider waits its eight slender legs. perpetually mimicking the act of weaving a web. I tried to give her water and food, but she wouldn't take it. She just kept crying, so I tried. I tried to devour her distress, but she was so young. New fears and discomfort would surface instantly, and the crying would start all over again. I didn't know how to cover her. Oh God! After all, she's only mechanoid. Where's she now? A couple from the conservation area took her in. She opens the conservation area's registry and points out the names of the couple. This couple. Their own son didn't live to see his 9th birthday. How? I read the resident manual for Conservation Area 368. Doesn't have a rule that children under 8 years old receive additional supplies? Liv asked anxiously. Those rashes did help him reach 8 years old. And then he accidentally fell into an open mineshaft. Oh, I got this. By the time we found him, it was too late. After I brought this child back, I placed her within. I hope she might bring some solace into their lives. Luna lowers her gaze. I am just a mechanoid. I don't know how to raise a human child. I tried to give her everything I thought was best, but she couldn't grow properly in my care. It was agony to let her go. I had no other choice, so I asked the couple to take her in. Even if she would never call me mother, just being able to watch over her from a distance. That's enough for me. This chapter is already dark. Oh my god, we are like always part 6 and oh my god.